Live tonight for the Daytona International Speedway, the VIDANE Racing Series Season 7, back in action on LSRTV, powered by iRacing.com. The VIDANE Racing Rent-A-RaceCar Super Speedway Series, Round 7, the X-Lander Designs 175. The field is on the grid right now as we start to roll off for 70 laps at 175 miles before we reach the end of this one tonight, PD. And not much more to say then. We're getting through this season now in the second half of the year. Final race before 3 weeks off for the holiday season, and back in Daytona with the Gen 6 cars, always an exciting combo.
Yeah, man, you gotta love these Gen 6 cars and their races. VIDANE always puts on one hell of a show. Should be no exception tonight. As we get ready to go green here, folks, we're probably in for a spectacular event. Wouldn't expect anything less. Tonight we got a interesting pole star. Jonathan Goke actually won the pole tonight, so good seeing him get his first pole of the season. We saw him win a few weeks back at Daytona, and should be fun to watch.
As we said, the field already doubled up and cycling through quarters number 3 and 4 as we get set to get this thing underway. You talked about Jonathan Goke, pole position with a time of a 44 flat. You got Dustin Lee, then a handful of pro drivers on row 2. Brad Mahar, Justin Bolton, Seth the Merchant can round out our top 5 right now. We'll run you down through the full running order at some point, hopefully on our first caution flag. Who knows, maybe this might go caution-free. Said nobody ever when you get Gen 6 cars out at Daytona. It's going to be a fun one, and the pace car has dived down to the safety of pit road. Green flag in the air, and the 08 machine's going to run us through, and now caution flag's going to fly.
Oh, car back 15 of Craig Hawkins in the back. He had a hard crash. I'm going to go see what happened there. Unfortunately, I got the iRacing glitch where it does not let you see certain cars at certain times. Can you see that, Evan?
We're working on it, and the caution flag again flew. Still trying to find this incident.
It's the 15.
And we're hearing it is the 15 car. PD got partially an eye on it. It is Craig Hawkins, and although there are, how many? We got currently 43 cars in the field, 40 drivers put down a time. 3 of those were going to be given on provisionals, 46 possible drivers in tonight. And although my sim is set to view 50 cars at a time, I cannot view all 43 at a time, and I was unable to see Craig Hawkins. I do see him show up, and he's flipping and appears to be somewhat close to the catch fence as well. But he's now down pit road being forced to get some repairs, and this will give us an opportunity to run you down through our starting grid, we'll call it. It is Jonathan Goke who sits in first position. Dustin Lee, as we talked about, he's on the outside of row number 2.
Row number 3 is Brad Mahar, the pro driver, and in 4th is Justin Bolton, another pro driver.
That the Merchant going to be starting in 5th spot, and 6th for Damon Gilbert.
7, the 2-time winner of the season, last week's winner Ian Flash, 8th Joe Branch.
Brent Brown going to make the show tonight. A top 10 start for the driver of the number 5 car. He was in P9, and rounding out the top 10, Steve Bonesteel.
Bryce Senesac in 11th, Houston the Real Hammer in 12th.
The unlucky number 13 starting position to Justin Knobloch and Stephen O'Rourke in 14th.
15th goes to Logan Crest, and 16th is pro buddy Alan Bowes.
Stephen Brewer going to be starting 17th position. 18th is Tyler Wood.
Daniel Roper in 19th and 20th. We have John Hathaway Jr.
E.J. O'Rourke starts on row number 10, P21. And again, we say this is where they're starting because for the most part, everybody in front of that accident is in the relatively same position. And now that they crossed the stripe, that entire running order has changed, and E.J. O'Rourke has gone from 20th down to 33rd. So we're going to cancel. We'll pause that, and we'll get an updated look at everybody and where they run next time around under caution, because when it's one of those days, it's one of those days, and you can't just tell people where everybody runs. So we do have everybody on the lead lap right now. Again, do expect that to change with Craig Hawkins' machine, who is sitting down on pit road, and he is again still trying to get those damage repairs. Looks like he's getting tires on it now, so his tow has come to an end here, and he'll be able to get back out on track. But now that the field has cycled through that 15 car, I do anticipate him to have gone one lap down. So it's an interesting start to the race, Petey.
Yeah, and I think they'll consider this restart more of a start because, you know, that last start wasn't much of a start at all. Hopefully it should be fun, but hopefully they'll have a bunch of fun in this restart. This will probably feel like the real restart for these guys whenever they get going green. Craig Hawkins got a tough break early. We don't quite know what happened in the accident, but we just know that he was flipping and that was tough for him.
So now that we have this, again, opportunity under a quick caution flag period, let's talk some track facts about the Daytona International Speedway. Located in Daytona Beach, Florida, has a capacity crowd of 147,000 seats, which will change coming up for the 2016 Speed Weeks. Once the Daytona Rising project is completed, that'll go down to 101,000. It is owned by the International Speedway Corporation. Broke ground back in 1957 and opened in 55 years ago for a construction cost at that time of $5 million US. It is architected by Charles Moneypenny William France Sr. designed this racetrack, but the track itself has gone through a couple of repaves. It sits at 2.5 miles in length, 4 turns, banked at 31 degrees, 18 degrees the banking in the tri-oval. Again, interesting in comparison, obviously, with our Friday night Super Speedway doubleheaders, the fact that Daytona, Talladega, always very different. It seems that we've kind of landed on a point, PD, where both VIDANE and Denai Super Speedway coming up later tonight have been at the same racetracks in the same week for the most part. But the big difference that we obviously see week in and week out is the location of the start-finish line, which has played a factor in a couple of our finishes so far this season.
Yeah, and that's a very accurate statement by you there, Evan. We have seen that be a factor a lot. The start-finish line, I mean, if it was at Talladega every week, we'd see a different winner every week, I believe, just the way these things have gone so far. But it's been spectacular racing in both leagues. Both leagues have different style racing, and both of them are equally great in their own manner. It's hard to compare the two side by side, or else you wouldn't be able to. I mean, it's just that good for both leagues. That's been just fantastic to watch. And I don't know about you, Evan, but I can't wait for the big Star-Solid Talladega race tonight after this.
And it does appear that it is a single file restart coming up, as everybody in the single file on this one believe that may have something to do with the way that caution flag had fallen. Nonetheless, it is going to be a single file restart coming out at quarter number 4. The lights on the pace car are off. We are no longer pacing. Jonathan Goke in control of this field. And pace cars dived away. The caution flag is still being displayed. And it appears that we have found now the green flag has been thrown after the start-finish line, and there we got a huge checkup now, 3-4 wide, back in a pack. Race control trying to determine what's going to happen here, PD. This is one of the things that's a possibility in sim racing, is some sort of a glitch in the system. That very strange turn of events there. The green flag flew after the start-finish line. We got people trying to get up to speed now, 3-4 wide, back in a pack.
Yeah, single file restart definitely shook things up a ton for these drivers, and they're actually really spread out right now. There's about two car breakaways in the front, and right now your leader is still Jonathan Goke. Goke's still up there. Guys getting black flags cleared left and right. Tons of problems all over the track. And our first real good battle is between Rents Brown and that 61 right now, the 61 being Daniel Roper. That's where the first little pack's starting to form. We expect to see a big pack form once everyone gets stopped. And caution's out once again, Evan. There's another wreck on the speedway. I'm going to try to locate that one. I don't see anyone really around. Do you, Evan?
No, we're taking a look. Pace car is hot back out. Do not see. We got one car in the fence. Caught it there for a second. Another one of those instances where I can't see the car, but I did see for a brief moment that somebody was into the inside wall. It appeared that it was somewhere down in corners number 1 and 2. That's why the caution flag is out. This actually may have been after the yellow, but I am seeing one car out in the grass and obviously making contact with the inside wall. It's going to be Jacob Harberts. Jacob Harberts in the 80 machine went, for some reason, looks like he just turned dead left into the inside wall. He didn't get hit by anybody. It may have had some sort of a wheel glitch, but nonetheless, PD, I think that was some sort of a rage quit from the race because he just turned dead left, at least on my side of things. We're going down that short chute from the start-finish line to quarter number 3 and just he turned the wheel to the left till he hit a fence.
Yeah, that was definitely a tough break for him there. I guess he just didn't feel like running this race no more. Definitely not the most mature way to leave, but it happened. So Jacob Harberts is out of the race, we assume now, and moving forward, hopefully we won't see that again. But well,
interesting.
Interesting start to the race so far. Haven't normally seen them like this. Normally they're clean and green for a long while, so definitely a little shake-up, and not something we're not really accustomed to with this league. Certainly something that I don't expect to see continue.
It's one of those nights. I can't blame it on it, being a full moon and a night race because of the fact that, we're out in the Daytona sun today, but a very interesting start to the race. We had a wreck before the leaders basically hit the start finish on the start of the race. We had a single file restart, and then we had a driver turn left into a solid object, and that ended with another caution. So we're working under the caution flag right now. Lights are off at a base car, and while the admins are still trying to get a lot of this stuff sorted out, we're going to step away, take a break, and let them get everything sorted out, and we'll try to get this race back on track. You're watching the VIDANE Racing Series Season 7 on LSRTV. The X-Lander Designs 175 getting set to roll here officially after a couple of issues here. Going to get it kicked off. We'll see you on the other side when we look for the green flag. Back live from Daytona Beach, Florida, where things are looking to get better here because we are doubled up. The lights off on top of the iRacing Ford First Mustang pace car, getting set for maybe our first restart, we'll call it, of this night. It's going to be coming up on lap 8 after some interesting turn of events in these opening stages of this race. Green flag now in the air, back underway, and no restart for the 32 of Dustin Lee. Real bad, caught sleeping up on the outside lane. That's going to allow Brad Mahar to get through on the bottom. He's going to bring the 68 to Damon Gilbert, and nonetheless, it checks up that whole outside pack.
Yeah, that was a tough break to the outside pack. They're out there trying to race, and that just happened. So definitely a tough break. Weird circumstances to start this race. These guys just want to go racing right now, so hopefully they'll get their chance to do that. We see some action heating up back in the pack right now near Rents Brown. A lot of racing going on there. A lot of racing going on all around the track right now, especially for the lead. Here comes that 32 of Dustin Lee. He wants to find a way around Jonathan Goke. Goke on the inside, Lee on the outside. Lee has help from Justin Bolton. Goke has help from Brad Mahar, but it seems like them top two on the outside are hooked up a lot better than Goke. This is going to be a real close lap right here. Actually, check that. Dustin Lee is just going to take it by a wide gap. And Dustin Lee wasn't even going to be in this race, folks. He was a last-minute acceptee.
To the outside goes the 113 of Brad Mahar. He pulls up in front of the 68 of Damon Gilbert, who was also just on the bottom. Jumped up high. The 36 car now leads the outside charge. That is the Justin Bolton machine, as Dustin Lee has gotten clear and since dived down to the bottom lane, not waiting for that 36 of Bolton. And it's going to pay off for Bolton's part. He's going to get clear, and now he leaves Brad Mahar, which is something that you'll typically see occasionally. Not as much in this series, because of the fact that you're allowed to bump draft in the corners, it gives these guys a little bit more leniency, I would say, to kind of stick it out up high, try to help out, your quote-unquote teammate, your drafting partner. But I mean, no love going on between the 36 and the 32, because right back up to the high side goes Dustin Lee. Advantage at the stripe, going to be still in Bolton's favor, but now Brad Mahar's going to have to hang on to the back of that 32 to make that outside lane work. Still too wide, pretty much throughout this entire lead pack.
Yeah, and right now we're seeing some great racing up here for the lead. Dustin Lee trying to take this lead back, and Brad Mahar looks to think about taking 3 wide. Didn't want to go up as high as Lee was going, so he's going to stick right in there. And Bolton has some good help right now from the seasoned veteran Jonathan Goke right now. So right now we're starting to see things that spread out, some good racing. One car I'm noticing poke his nose through back. Here's Jonathan Goke to make a move to the outside, and Justin Bolton has no help. He's left out to dry. I don't think the 25 Steam Bone Steel can get there fast enough. Can he? Whoa, go, what a crossover. He's going to get the lead.
Oh, he's going to spin himself. He's on the yellow line. We got more
Damon
cars
Gilbert
out of line. A couple of them 5 wide now as somebody slow on the apron. Now back up on track. The 25
18, no block.
Squirrely. Steve Bonesteel. I was going to say give move of the year to Jonathan Goke. However, nearly took himself out of the race after it was Dustin Bolton who went high to block. The 08 forced his way back down through, got himself on that double yellow line, and got real squirrely. Now we got a lot of 2-3 wide, the 32 car sideways in this lead pack. That's Dustin Lee.
We have a lot of contact back here. Things are getting insane. I cannot caution is out. They actually finally did wreck, and we're going to see where that was. They're just about to wreck up front. Looks as though there was a big one, turns 1 and 2. I see the 77 of Houston Hammer was involved in that one. It looks as though the number 77 Houston Hammer was rejoining the track surface, and when he did, he came right up in front of Seth the Merchant. Seth the Merchant could not save that one like we're accustomed to, and he wrecked along with a couple other cars there, so a little big one there, just a miscalculation on the 77 of Hammer.
He got forced down to that bottom lane on the back straightaway. Was working with the 42 car right behind him, Elliott Leach, and looks like he actually intentionally pulled down, may have wanted to drop back, and again, they were 4 or 5 wide getting around him as everybody was still significantly off pace or different paces in comparison to each other. And went up on track in front of the 933. Seth gets taken out in that, and that is what causes that caution flag. We had some more incidents as well in quarter number 3. Saw another car get turned around, but again was unable to see what happened to that car. Would not appear in the sim. I know it was an orange car, I can tell you that much. I believe it may have been Stephen Brewer, because the 35 Speed Energy Ford has some back end damage as well. But I do believe the caution is going to be for Seth the Merchant, and we slow him back down once again. Just past the 10 lap mark right now, currently working lap number 12. Have yet to see anybody from our top few spots here hit pit road. Looks like Brad Mahar has intentions of coming down. Joe Branch was giving himself the ability to jump back out if he wanted to. Looks like the majority of our leaders is going to be coming down. Yeah,
and Mahar is definitely going to bring him down pit road, and looks like he's going to try to find his pit stall down here, and it's going to be about the 4th pit stall, and he will get right in there, right in front of Seth the Merchant. He's going to probably take just a gas and go. I would guess. I don't expect seeing tires go on. As I am right, he's going to take right off pit road, get off pit road with the lead, followed by Justin Bolton. We're going to have an all-pro front row here. Off pit road 3rd will be Stephen O'Rourke, Ian Flash, and Joe Branch to be your top 5 when we go green.
Still sitting 37 cars on the lead lap. A couple of those that were just involved in an incident down pit road, getting some service repairs. I know that Seth has lost his lap. He's 38th. He's 1 lap out of it. 1 lap down as well. Tyler Ducharme. You have Jacob Harbert to Kamikaze, the inside wall. He is out of the race. We have Wesley Johnson, Fimai Olat, and Craig Hawkins are all multiple laps down. Some of them behind the wall. Some of them still on pit road. But it is going to be Dustin Lee right now who sits in control of this field, tucked up behind the pace car. And PD, we're going to take this first opportunity to try to queue up with tonight's in-race reporter, one of the drivers tonight that is going to be attempting to complete the Friday night LSRTV Super Speedway doubleheader, and that is finish on the lead lap in both the VIDANE race as well as the Super Speedway race, as well as a possibility of walking away with some cash if they were to win both races.
That's $100 if they win both. And I've tried to queue up the radio of Robbie Roy. Robbie, do you have a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Robbie, you're making your VIDANE debut tonight in the number 33 machine, and we will see later on the iSuper Speedway in the 14. You've had a lot of success over at iSuper Speedway. Almost won last week. You had a top 5 before. I know you're trying to bring your success over here and possibly win the $100 winning both races tonight. How do you think? What's your strategy moving forward in this race, just so you can have a chance to win the 100?
Well, right now I already tapped the wall with that single file restart. I don't know what the heck was going on, but I'm just trying to stay out right now and save fuel so I don't use up my reset, just in case something happens. So right now I'm just trying to ride and keep clean, and then when I get into the fuel window, I'll go ahead and pit, and we'll be good to go.
Well, Robbie, like I said, you've run iSuper Speedway a lot. What are some differences you noticed already between racing the Gen 6 here and at iSuper Speedway?
Big difference, I can push people in the corners, which is what I love doing because it's a lot faster. As iSuper Speedway, they have the rule to where you cannot push in the corner, and it makes for better pack racing, but it's harder to pass. So, I mean, I love being able to push somebody around everybody else.
All right, well, this is a lot of laps tonight. 94 at iSuper Speedway, 70 here. What are your plans to be able to go the endurance?
I have 2 monsters with me, so I'm good to go.
All right, Rob, before I let you return to your teammates, who do you think who makes happen for you in the number 33 crew?
For sure, Ellie Leach, Richard Holiday are down in the Big Block Motorsports section. I mean, we're working together. We're going to try to make sure that all 3 of us are in the front of the race at the end. I got to thank Bull Ring Racing and Big Block Motorsports, ran by PJ Zeller, of course, for putting me on this team and giving me cars to win.
All right, well, talk to you later, Robbie.
We're still working again behind the pace car right now. Lights are still on. Dustin Lee currently sits in the number 1 spot via not coming down pit road on this last cycle. And again, tonight's race speedy, not a short one rather in this either. 70 laps on the board. These guys, a lot of the guys that are trying to do the double, have to be able to make, as well as us, make that iSuper Speedway the B main cutoff, which is, you know, just under an hour and a half by now. So in theory, no problem getting these next 55 laps out, but if we continue to experience the strange, delays as well as a handful of caution flags, some of these guys may be pushing their time close on being able to do both races if the lights go off right now.
Yeah, and both races, this is a significantly long race for VIDANE. We normally see like 50 lap races here. At iSuper Speedway, we normally see like around 40 to 30. So this is incredible. I'm doing the math in my head right now. Please forgive me, I'm not good at math. This is around 164 laps tonight, I believe. And if you're going to complete both of them, you better have some duration. And I guess if Monster Energy gets it done for Robbie Roy, then by all means use it.
Well, there is I just happened to come into my screen, the Amp Energy number 21 of Alan Bowes. Amp is my preferred choice, I guess we'll call it, of energy drink, possibly, but it's the Dale Earnhardt Jr. inspired Mountain Dew Amp Energy National Guard Chevrolet of Alan Bowes, who, again, you talked about, lined up side-by-side, PD, with his teammate on the start of the race, Logan Kress, and they're going to be side-by-side as well on this restart. They're going to take up that row number 2, going to be starting 3rd and 4th on this upcoming restart. Dustin Lee, Steve Bonesteel. 25 of Bonesteel is working some minor front end damage after Jonathan Goke made a hole and jumped down to the bottom in front of him through the trial vote earlier on. Very minor front end damage on the 25, but we'll have to see how much and if any that causes damage for him here tonight. Pace car has gone it away. The 25 is on it. Steve Bonesteel going to beat him at the start finish line. Could he get clear of Dustin Lee? No, as it is the 38 of Logan Kress who gets to the back bumper of that 32, and once again going to make it neck and neck for the top spot as they head into 1 and 2.
Yeah, Logan Kress in that Amp Energy car is going to try to push Dustin Lee to the advantage. Here they go, outside line, Bonesteel and Bowes. Bowes is going to try to push Bonesteel, will not work. It'll actually allow our in-race support Robbie Roy to get up there. Roy up to 4th right now, so good run for him, but he has no help from behind. He's going to need that if he wants to get up there and challenge for the win. And here they go, 3 wide. They're going to split Bonesteel. They're going to say goodbye, Bonesteel, and if he doesn't get some help, that hole is going to be never-ending. He's going to go up and block Bowes, and that just separated a ton of things. And now the top 2 should be able to pull away. If Kress is having connection issues, though, and it split them up. And this is getting insane here. That's going to leave him right to Robbie Roy, and somehow the leader ends up left out to dry in all this, Evan.
Still 3 wide, the 6 car going to shoot the grab. That's Preston Perlmutter. He gets to the back bumper, the 25 of Steve Bonesteel. Now they're going to be on the high side. They get separated. More 3 wide behind them, the 113, the 61, all going up to the middle. So did the 21 and the 36 machines of Alan Bowes and the 36 of Bolton. Now the 21 goes all the way down to the bottom. The car that's up high making this a 3 wide is the 29 of Brandon Williams, who's getting left out to dry. He'll finally find some sort of support in the fact that it's going to be the 923 car who gets up behind him. That is Alan Lewis, who was working with the 08 of Jonathan Goat, was got in the way of those guys who were trying to make a run up high. And now the 29 is going to dive down to the mid lane, or the high side now, as we go back to single file racing up inside the top 5. Still 2 wide for about 7th on back, but 3 wide at Daytona, although it's possible when you've got a lot of guys speeding going different speeds like that, checking up, some people getting left, can get very close, especially obviously with the difference in speed there in the closing rate. We saw a couple of times these guys were leaning on each other's doors. So far so good though, we keep them green.
Yeah, right now in first and second. Oh, here comes Brummett to the outside. Right now, first and second, we have 2 of VIDANE's most seasoned veterans, and third and fourth, we have 2 first-timers. So here comes Kyle Brummett on the outside, trying to get the lead in his first start here. Can he do it? He's going to have a lot of help right now from that 18 machine. And Dustin Lee gets loose, 3 wide, Crest low side, and Dustin Lee's in the sandwich that he's going to get allowed back into. New leader now, the 20 of Brummett. He's still not sure what he's doing. Oh my, shaking 4 wide. They're 4 wide for 5th right now.
Oh,
and Roy's in the middle of that.
Almost.
Oh my, this is insane. They're racing really hard 3 wide now. I guess you could say it's calm compared to what we saw there before. But Roy's trying to find a spot back in, which he will. And oh, there's some cars shaking, blinking, and all types of stuff going right now.
Still 3 wide, 36 up the middle. The 25 steps at a line for the bottom. Steve Bonesteel wants to get into that action. He pulls up in front of the 36. We got contact behind them. A couple cars in the fence. Checking up now. The 29 is getting bounced around. The 04 is going to get turned. The Ian Platt in this as well. The 04 car trying to hang on. It's John Hathaway Jr. Well on pace now. There you go. The 5 car is going to get turned around. Heavy contact. That's Rents Brown. The Red Bull Chevrolet out in the grass. No caution. Now we got more trouble.
Race Control's going to throw the caution flag for that one. And Rents Brown, it looks like he was doing donuts because he landed right in the middle of that Daytona symbol.
Oh, Doug
Tough
Barnes
break for
Jr.
Rents.
Heavy damage on the number 88 National Guard entry after he came flying through, and I believe he's the one that he did. He got into the back of that 5 for Rents Brown. He was sliding across the track, so the 5 got turned around, and it's going to cause some heavy engine damage for that 88 car as well. And they, just as we mentioned him, Doug Barnes, Speedy, driver of that 88, not happy over the radio about what happened there.
What can he not be happy about there? That's what I don't get. That was completely his fault there. He just drove through that, did not brake, carefree, and completely killed Rents Brown. So that was, I think that was really, he shouldn't be complaining. That was his fault there. Don't agree with him there, but whatever. I guess that's what happens sometimes. As we have another caution, and this time your leader is going to be somehow Justin Noblock in the 18 after all that exciting action.
Yeah, it's one of the things in that huge checkup. If you check up, there's a possibility that you'll be either run over from behind, or iRacing doesn't tend to reward the people that are going to take the conservative route. You can back out of it, and you're going to have the guys that fly through at full speed, and they're going to be able to, get off scot-free and no trouble from that point. And then you're also going to have the drivers that, try to go flying through it there. And I think it was just a situation where he was trying to take advantage of the slower cars, and it just didn't work out in his favor. But he's not happy about the way that has gone down. Alan Bowe's not happy. Letting somebody, I believe he's referring to the driver of the 20, Kyle Brummett, that he was having some connection issues. Steve Bonesteel not all that satisfied as well. So a couple of drivers that aren't completely happy with it, and it is the Bose Crest camp that are pointing out all the cars that are having connection issues to Race Control, because now Logan Crest complaining about Dustin Lee having some blinking in and out in that, and Ian Plash laying down the law of the land through the Race Control channel and trying to set these guys straight.
Yeah, and Ian Plash definitely wants to get the point across. He doesn't want these guys doing anything wrong. And I have an official report that Seth the Merchant, the save master, is actually taking his machine behind the wall. So that's a championship contender out right there, folks. So things are getting really interesting here. Now, that's really the first championship contender we've seen get out of this race so far. So a very upsetting turn of events there from the 933 camp.
And you talk about that again, the main goal that is on the line here, the main prize that everybody's going to be shooting for, is the Rent a Race Car NE, which is you can race in the Stafford Speedway Dare Stock Division, hence the VIDANE Rent a Race Car Super Speedway Series. So on the line is the team points. Teams consist of 2 drivers. Be able to get that prize at the end of the year. The current team standings are led by the Fastlane Motorsports gang, sitting up top with 493 points, 96 to the positive over Plash Racing Incorporated, which is Ian Plass, Seth the Merchant, and Seth having another rough night out here, PD. That's going to give a huge boost to the Fastlane guys in this championship hunt with, at tonight's race closing in, only 5 races to go.
Yeah, just 5 races to go, and these guys are certainly going to be going at it, but definitely a long way to go. So, seeing a lot of connection issues right now. I'm just hearing endless amounts of complaints at the moment. Drivers upset. One driver's not upset though is Steve Bonesteel 25. Runs week in, week out. Never had the success he quite wanted, but this week he is running up front looking to get the job done. Same with Dustin Lee, and look at the guy in 4th, Preston Perlmutter. You see him try again, but never succeed, and this week he's up there in top 5. Certainly a very long way to go, but that Perlmutter camp has certainly put on a show. So, good to see them running strong early. Him and his teammate Spencer Burns both trying to get their season turned around. The 06 having a rough night already, even 29th with a little bit of damage, so he's representing that team well right now. So, should be fun to watch him battle with the big boys right now, and I'm sure he's excited to do it. But right now, your leader is Steve Bonesteel.
Yeah, and he's not out of the clear quite yet because he got knocked around a couple of times on lap 11. Jonathan Goat cut him off, and then the 32 machine of Dustin Lee came down on him, and the 25 got banged up quite a little bit. There is minor front-end damage, PD, on the front of that number 25 car, which we mentioned earlier. Not going to be an issue if he's out in clean air, but if you're pushing, sometimes that little bit of damage could cause your temps to get hot a lot faster, as well as the point that if you get that damage, your temps are just gonna, you're just gonna blow that engine unless you come down and get them fixed. The 25 has been out for about 12 laps since that incident, so don't think it's too major of front end damage there getting air to the engine, but it could affect him if he gets stuck in a pushing position that he may be unable to push for as long as he would like to.
Yeah, I see a lot of damage. Bonesteel damage, Brumman has some nose damage, Lee has some left front damage. Perlmutter is clean. Robbie Roy has some significant right side damage. We saw him be fast. As much as it should be affecting these cars, it really isn't. Like, these guys can get damage and run competitively from what I've seen so far in the season. So I wouldn't be too concerned about that damage. They'll probably be okay, but I don't know. Moving forward, you definitely need to keep better track of your engine temps. Your engine temps could get out of hand here, and with things the way they've been going tonight, I mean, it's hard to say it's a super speedway, but tonight it could be a battle of attrition, so I'd watch out for that. I mean, I'm not saying that it's gonna be, but these guys definitely came to a race rough tonight, so hopefully you guys get together, else we're in for a battle of attrition here, Evan.
Lights go back on for the pace car. I want to remind everybody that tonight's race is the Xlander Designs 175 at Daytona. And as the lights go on for the base car, I want to take this opportunity to talk about the Xlander Designs. Was founded in 2007 by Paul Strickland Jr., who has been building websites since 2001. Xlander currently specializes in designs of all nature, from websites and hosting to business documents and apparel. We do it all. We take every order very seriously. No matter the size, from big to small, every order is important to us, and we want to make sure that every customer gets exactly what they want. Much of the profits from Xlander Designs is put back into racing, both the sim racing community as well as real-world racing. We've sponsored many sim drivers, past and present, such as John Adams. You got Jeremy Hughes, Paul Strickland Jr., and NASCAR iRacing DWC driver Josh Parker. Xlander Designs has also made many real racing sites for drivers all over the United States, such as Nate Monteith and Blake Jones, as well as a few side projects for NASCAR Sprint Cup Series driver Landon Castle. So for more information on tonight's title sponsor and what Paul Strickland Jr. does, check them out, xlanderdesigns.com. That is EXLANDER.com for more information on them making tonight possible. Next race coming up again, 3 weeks off. Then we have the Nick Dale Campbell Designs 150 at Talladega on January the 9th. So we got a little bit of an off break after tonight's race, but getting set for another restart here.
Yeah, the pace car's going to pull off. Bonesteel's going to leave out. Green flag waving. Kyle Brummett goes. Bonesteel doesn't. That might be your review. Brummett jumped that restart huge. Leader needs to control that. But Brummett and Perlmutter to the point, so I'm sure Bone Steel's not too happy about that one. Update on the 77 Houston Hammer. He said he simply self-spun, couldn't control the car there in turn 3 and 4, and it is wrecked out now. He says he's not going to be able to get back on the track within reasonable time, so tough break for him as we see him rejoin the surface with significant damage, like you said. So right now, though, Brummett and Perlmutter to the advantage. Bone Steel's definitely upset about that one, as he is getting help right now from that number 67 of Dennis Pavel. Pavel's going to look to the outside of Perlmutter. Boy, that's a combo right there. Pavel and Perlmutter. Here they go. Pavel doesn't want to do it. Now he goes. Too late for Bone Steel, and Bone Steel's going to have to check up, ruining the run completely.
Yeah, he had help from the 32, got onto the back of the 67, who followed them through, and then a move to the outside did not work for Dennis Pavel, and just drove into the back of the 6 of Preston Perlmutter. Checked him up, got some more damage on the 25 as Bone Steel got into the back of the 67, then tried to come back in line. The 32 of Dustin Lee tried to get around the 25. He went high, and that has not worked because now the 32 is going the wrong direction. The 68 of Damon Gilbert wants to go high to work with the 32. A lot going on up front, but Kyle Brummett defending that he went on green. Steve Bone Steel not buying it, but nonetheless, PD, it has put that number 20 Toyota to the point.
Yeah, and he is to the point right now, and Perlmutter is going to be right behind him. Oh, they're going to lose contact. These are two guys we don't normally see up front, but it's nice to see him out there. Here comes Bone Steel in the 67 to Pavel. Bone Steel wants to get his rightfully earned lead back, or so he feels. And here they go. Robbie Roy looking for a lane to go with. He's not sure which one he's going to go with yet. He's going to stick with that low line that's not moving at all, and the outside lane will prevail. Give the lead to Dennis Pavel. They're going to wait to see if Bone Steel can get down. Remember, you can push in this league. They have time. And Bone Steel's clear. They come down. New leader, Dennis Pavel. Bone Steel's the second. As we now have Damon Gilbert leading the outside charge. It'll be interesting to see if Brummett tries to go up there and take that outside lane, which we have seen it's been like kind of a ditch effort here tonight. You get to the front, you dive to the bottom, ditch your partner, and so on and so forth. It's like a never-ending chain, but we see it every week, Evan.
It's the system that makes this run, and it was Kyle Brummett who led the last time by the start-finish line. He'll cross through this time in 3rd position, as it has been the 67 of Dennis Pavel, who has gone to the point with help from the 25 of Steve Bosteel. 20 car thinks about going high, can't come back down now. 6 cars there, that's Preston Perlmutter. So the 20 jumps up in front of the run that Damon Gilbert had. Now the 25 of Bone Steel goes high. 20 goes to the bottom. 3 wide, and that's going to lead. 6 cars going to get turned. The 68's defensible wrecking at the front. Allen Bose, a huge wreck. 6, 7 cars. Now 8. We're still wrecking going into quarters number 3 and 4, and now the caution will be thrown manually by Race Control after that happened in corner number 3. All started with that move 3 wide by the 20 machine. Kyle Brummett went to the middle, and then it was the 33 of Robbie Roy who turned the 6 car up into the 68 of Damon Gilbert, and because they were 3 wide at the front of the field, nobody was able to get around that. Perlmutter not happy that his Shell Pennzoil Ford got hooked to console of that, and they slid back up on the racetrack, and with a couple of people behind this wreck, PD maybe not expecting that group of cars to slide back up, a lot of guys just came flying through there and nailed somebody, made that situation worse than it already was. We slow him back down for yellow, and Kyle Brummett has found himself once again back at the top spot.
Yeah, in the middle of that wreck now of the race, I caught up with our in-race reporter, Robbie Roy. Robbie, do you have a copy over the radio?
Yes, sir.
Robbie, we saw a big one on the backstretch. Take us through it from your vantage point.
Well, I was behind the 6 car, and I was about 8th or 9th, and he was catching up on some guys. I was pushing him. He ended up going below the yellow, just a little bit below the yellow line, and I had a run. He came back up, and I tried backing out, but then he turned across my nose, and well, you know what happened from then on out.
So with your night being over, what's your plan moving forward? Are you going to help your teammate try to get the car back out, or just prepare for the 94-lap race at Talladega?
I don't know. I do have a reset. I don't know if it's still going to work with the blown motor, but I'm towing right now and see if I can get back out there. And I mean, everybody else is Elliott. I think they're all good. They just got to get their cars fixed, and if not, I'll be over the radio helping them and making sure they get up to the front.
All right, Rob, I'm going to let you turn to your pit box. Thanks for joining us. Talk to you later. Back updates on the race. Race leader Kyle Brummett is actually turned around on pit road. Very interesting scenario we're seeing here. You don't normally see guys turn around pit road. I'll try to get an update on what happened there. But No doubt.
He had some help.
Gonna
At
lose
least he was going really slow. And this is something I'm sure PD can run to as well. He was slowing down before he had actually turned to get into his stall. Was only going about 40 miles an hour. Went to go make the turn into pit road.
Oh, he's got turned intentionally.
Yes, no. So the 25, I think, was trying to pass him.
No, that was intentional there, Evan. I think the 25 of Bone Steel was actually upset about. Remember how Brummett jumped the restart and took the lead, and they were arguing about that? I think that was probably a little payback there, because
we'll play the diplomatic route. We'll say the 20 cut him off. That's what. If you ask Steve Bonesteel, I'm sure he'll say he just cut me off. Now, if that's true or not, because the 25 does make Carl Edwards-esque very definitive right-hand turn. Now, if that was to get around the 20 or to deliver the message that Bonesteel had intended to, he came down pit road, PD. He had damage before, knowing that he had a quick fix. That additional contact didn't hurt him at all, because now he's back on a track with a brand new race car. Preston Perlmutter now has been removed from the race, as well as Daniel Roper.
Demetrius.
We got a bunch of guys that have been removed by race control.
The message on Danelius D. Demetrius was break, so I'm guessing he did not check up for that wreck, and Preston Perlmutter's message was you're gone, so I don't think we're going to be seeing Preston in future races, so definitely end to his VIDANE career there. It was a short-lived one. He had some good moments, but certainly his bad moments.
Hey, PD, it's not his memorial, man. He's not dead.
We'll remember Preston moving forward. Certainly was a pioneer of the series, but anyways, we have a change.
One of my favorite
up front.
names to say, if that's any consolation.
Yeah, but we're not going to be saying it anymore, Evan. But new leader, Brad Mahar. Mahar to the advantage in this dark moment. The 113 is going to be your leader here. Followed by Justin Bolton, an all-pro front row, just like early in the race. John Hathaway in third. Tyler Wood in fourth. And Logan Kress in fifth. And one thing I want to note about Bonesteel turning the number 20 on pit road is Brummett had a completely clean car. If it wasn't for that, he wouldn't have had to use his reset. But Bonesteel kind of used up his one reset doing that, so I'm sure that just, adds to insult for the number 20 crew there. Oh, Burns, Spencer E. Burns has been removed from the server. Oh, no.
So the 06 car, who was running P20, he was removed from the race via race control. Didn't see any sort of on-track altercation from that. Of course, race control has been monitoring the radios that we may have been unable to completely keep an ear on. But nonetheless, Spencer Burns has been removed from the server, so he's going to slide back. We've had about 4 or 5 cars now been handed down the hammer from race control, PD. They've been parked for at least tonight. And I said on the caution prior to this that Ian Plash in the tower was letting the guys know that you got to, shape up or ship out, because, the way that the race had started, he was not satisfied with the, lack of conservativeness maybe on the wreck avoidance on the part of some drivers. And we've seen, not sure again if necessarily related to that, but a handful of guys now parked for the night.
Yeah, and that is certainly just devastating for them crews, especially Perlmutter, who in a short VIDANE career touched money but will not be seeing him on the racetrack anymore. But anyways, right now, the number 38 of Logan Kress been having a great night in one of your personal favorite cars, the Amp Energy Machine. He has sport and damage-free vehicle right now, so I'm sure he's going to be happy to know that. But he's having some trouble on his outside, the 923 vehicle, the 923 being Alan Lewis. Alan Lewis making his debut tonight. He's also a teammate of that Bose, Hammer, and Logan Kress camp, so I'm sure they're excited to have their engineer out on the track. Not always you get to race with your engineer, Evan.
And we are doubled up again behind a pace car restart. Good to be coming up for lap number 33. Logan Kress is requesting the broadcast to take a look at his splitter to see if there is any damage. So you have taken care of that. So kind of like in real NASCAR, where the crew is going to be on top of the box with their monitors, and they'll use the, the ESPN feed or whatever to see damage. We are now being used as, a spotter for some of these guys to make sure their cars are clean. A lot of the drivers tune into the broadcast while they race, which I imagine would be kind of strange considering the delay in time on that. Some of them, obviously, most of them, going to want you back tomorrow. So got to make everybody relatively satisfied in that one, but it is going to be a restart right now. Some drivers still discussing some of these incidents with each other. A little bit of drama never hurt anybody. RaceCar's down and away, green flag back in the air, and for the second time in a row, Petey, the race leader, could not find the accelerator. Brad Mahar does not get going. The 36 of Justin Bolton going to get a better start on the outside lane. He'll pass that 113 into the corner.
Yeah, and the 36 going. A lot of guys didn't go in the back. I actually heard someone sing some lyrics to a song called Gas Pedal in the back out of anger there. That was kind of humorous to listen to. But right now we have the All-Pro 1-2 right now. Here goes Bolton and Brad Mahar. They're going to try to pull away from that number 30 machine. A bunch of cars we haven't seen up front tonight besides these top two. 30 of Tyler Wood looking to get it done up here. But Bone Steel coming back to the front after making that contact on pit road. Going to try to drive his way up through here. And we're seeing a bunch of new faces now. Joe Hathaway up to third. Fourth, Logan Crest, and fifth, as usual, Jeff Ramsdell is always up around there, and I was surprised there.
The outside lane just died.
Oh, yeah.
Not sure if there was a little bit of lag, but it was the 923 of Alan Lewis. He was pushing a 30 car. They were, equal speed with the guys at the bottom, and then something happened in the 3, and they're still going backwards. Move the 42 car through. Another guy going to be coming through, making a pass on this. Richard Holiday, the 68 through and gone. The 32 car. Now the 923 of Lewis jumps down. The 30 maybe a little bit off pace, but whatever happened there cost those guys on the outside like 6-7 spots, and now we look at an opportunity where our leaders are already breaking away from the pack now. 2 sets of tandems. Bolton and the 113 of Mahar, and then the 04 of John Hathaway Jr. and the 38 of Logan Crest out in front of this field. Interesting to see if this field's going to be able to catch these guys or if they're able to keep up a steady pace in the 2-car tandem, performing some swaps if they're able to maintain the gap that they have right now. They have about a second back to 10th spot, which is really where we start to see the 2-wide action.
Speaking of 2-wide action, battle for 5th, Elliott Leach and Jeff Ramsdell. Robbie Roy's teammates, the Holiday machine and Leach machine, are going to try to go by that Jeff Ramsdell machine. They're going to be leading this outside charge. No one really on the outside to help them, though. They're going to start going here. Will they have enough time? It's the real question. And the 04 is going to go up with them, so we're starting to see an outside line for him. Here they go. Oh, Leach wanted to take a 3-wide. Not a smart move. He could have lost a ton of spots there. Thinks better, comes back in the line, and they're going to try to push the 04. A lot of these guys are trying to take a 3-wide here. Not a good move to do it this early in the event. But here we go. Some great racing up for the lead here. And the 04 is going to be charging for him. The 04 is Leach and Holiday abandoned him, and the 04 is left out to dry. That's a classic thing we will see here at these plate races.
Yeah, Hathaway's going to get shuffled out of line. 2 cars dropping down in line a little bit further back in that lead pack was the 03 machine who ducked back in line. Richard Holiday with the 42 of Elliott Leach you were talking about there. They got back down to the bottom. Alan Lewis thought about making it 3-wide, as well as that 42 car did. Stop better of it, per se. Again, Daytona, if you got the cars parked there, you can put them 4-wide, but 3-wide is very tricky when you're in a big pack and you got everybody pushing and bouncing off each other, that it may not be worth it. We got more trouble now. Caution flag flying on the racetrack. Take a look. We got huge trouble at a quarter number 4, the 67 of Dennis Pavel.
The 08 of Jonathan
The 33 of Robbie Roy has spun it out. He is down pit road backwards with heavy damage on his Chevrolet. Caution flag out on this one, just past the halfway point. Replay going to go up live now. It looks like it may have started with the 08 PD. That's Jonathan Goke, who was up front earlier in this race. Yeah, he just got turned. Him and Alan Lewis went to the high side, and with that 923 making that right-handed movement on the back bumper of the 08, just hooked him right around, spun around the 87, the 25, Steam Bone Steel in it. He is not satisfied with that, expressing his displeasure. Ian Plash is able to get through, but a couple of cars involved in that, and the driver's frustrations continue to boil over. Steve Bonesteel is going to be parking it for the night.
Yeah, and update on Robbie Roy, he actually didn't hit anything. iRacing glitched and gave him damage. He actually did an excellent job spinning down pit road. And watch that replay if you will, Evan. He got the damage well after he would have came close to making contact with anyone, so a weird glitch there. And he actually did get his car down pit road speed, so no black flags for that machine, so he did an excellent job missing that wreck. But that was certainly a weird glitch to see, Evan.
I believe he was turned by Steve Bonesteel coming through corner number 4, rather, exiting quarter number 4. Again, the 25 car had some trouble, bounced off the wall, came down, and did hit the 33 pretty hard in the right rear of that machine. And take a look. He did bounce off the 25, got him in the right rear, kicked the back end sideways, then the left rear hit the 67 car, and that's what caused the damage on the back of his machine. So I do think it is viable damage or correct damage on that one. He did get bounced around a little bit coming through there. Meanwhile, we are 3-4 wide coming off pit road. Brad Mahar going to be the first one exiting. But we were, 4-3 wide, 2 wide, up inside it for those top 5 spots to race off pit road.
Yeah. Right now, in the number P4 spot coming off pit road, that Rich Holiday machine. That's a weird sponsor I'm seeing on that one. Is that a Tampa Bay Buccaneers car, Evan? I'm a little confused about this one.
03 of Holiday?
Oh, maybe that's the Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah, and we can't. Let's not talk about the Carolina Hurricanes.
Buffalo Sabres.
Definitely not. Your sports updates for the evening right now. The Montreal Canadiens sit with a 3-0 lead on the Los Angeles Kings because it's turned into Sports Center. Because, yeah. Okay, so we are under caution flying conditions. And again, the string of yellows, PD, that I really don't want to say it's become a trend, but a lot of the drivers have been expressing their frustrations off track these last few races on the amount of yellow flags going up as the season has gone on. You can see that race control trying to deal with it by, if you're not going to make a smart move, sending you behind the wall. Already working with 6 caution flags at the halfway point.
Yeah, and that's definitely a difficult thing they're going to deal with here is these caution laps. But like it hasn't been that boring of an event as we see Alan Bosey Bose to the lead, as we like to call him. So definitely
I don't call him that.
Well,
you might like to call him that.
Well, Evan, sometimes you gotta call him Bosey Bose.
No,
if
you
I'm
don't
not
have
sure,
to. We can call him Alan Bose all we want.
Well, Evan, that's your own personal opinion. I don't know if you've seen the sculpted form of Bosey Bose, but Bosey Bose is certainly a wonderful human
Getting downhill already.
All right, so back to racing.
Yes, there is a race going on, ladies and gentlemen. We are at Daytona, by the way.
Alan Bose is in the lead, followed by Brandon Williams. So certainly expect to see them two work together. They're actually dear friends off the racetrack. To have the chance to talk to them before the race, they thought their chances would be good each individually. They said if they got to the front, they would work together. Now where you've seen Bose work with Houston Hammer or Logan Crest, they're not around right now, and Alan Lewis is someone that I would certainly be willing to work with tonight, but Alan Lewis is just like them two, not around right now, so Bose going to have to work by himself for a little while until Logan Crest can catch up. Logan Crest in 7th, but I wouldn't say he's that out of line because he has his good friend Brandon Williams, followed by Alex Heron, Brad Mahar, and Richard Holiday up in the top 5, so definitely an interesting top 5 we're seeing here. We actually passed halfway just a few laps ago.
23 drivers still remain on the lead lap right now. The last of that group is Jonathan Goke, who pulls into his number 1 pit stall for qualifying on pole position, as there is no front nose on that Pepsi. Can't even tell what manufacturer it is because there is no front end on his Pepsi Chevrolet. He brings it down for damage repair. A lot of fast guys, PD, especially points. Now that we are halfway through this year, again, there's no chase. There's 12 races, race 7, so we passed the halfway point 1 week ago. On the downhill side of things now, in tonight's race, we're past the halfway point as well as the season. A lot of the guys that are in those top few spots for both individual and team points having trouble.
Yep. At this point, I think at the favor has to go towards Logan Crest and Alan Bose. Certainly it would be cool for them to get a chance to race in real life, but they're trying to build on that points lead they have a little bit. Right now, 1st and 7th, so things not going too shabby for them, and Bo's going to try to keep that going with Brandon Williams on his outside, but I don't know. The trend in this race so far is the guy who doesn't control the restart is the one who gets the lead. Do you expect to see that continue with Brandon E. Williams on the outside?
It's interesting because, again, we saw what appeared to be Brummett jumping the restart. He defended himself, and obviously Bone Steel not satisfied with that. That's something that he probably was not happy with, which you attributed to him putting that car on the hauler a little bit earlier. And then, the immediate restart after that, we saw the outside lane get a better jump as well. So, going to have to see now that it is Alan Bose on point. He's going to have help, or rather need to get help from the 181 of Alec Karen, and then you're going to have Brandon Williams up high, who's going to need help from Brad Mahar. Curious to see if the trend will continue and the outside lane gets going better, or if it was, just those two guys caught maybe sleeping a little bit, because the green does fly a lot sooner here than Talladega in comparison when the pace car dives down, because the Talladega with the start-finish being about 200 yards past the tri-oval. Pace car drives down, you pretty much do the whole tri-oval before you get the green. You can kind of brace yourself for it. Here at Daytona, pace car's down, and you're away. And it gives you a lot less time to, prepare for it. And I mean, you know it's coming, but very easy to catch you off guard, making sure you're in the right gear and some other stuff. So we'll see how this plays out, because the pace car down to pit road, 21 car is going to be the control car. Green flag back in the air again. 29 has some help from the 113, but dead even at the start-finish line. Advantage to Bose on the bottom lane. Does not have help though. 181 rather. Alec Karen not quite on his back bumper. 29 could get clear here. Brandon Williams has that push from Brad Mahar.
Bose needs 181 of Alex Karen to get up there. Karen's going to get to his bumper. Karen gives him a push. So Bose should be okay right now, but it's a dead heat right now. Brandon E. Williams hanging hard on that outside. We know they want to get to each other. We're not quite sure if they'll be able to. And Bose's falling back as Brad Mahar is going to push Brandon E. Williams. Can they get clear? And will Brandon E. Williams wait? We know he was really possibly considering working with Bose. 3 wide. Oh, 29 goes way out of shape there. Brad Mahar's going to lead the outside group now, and Brandon E. Williams just going to have to say goodbye until he gets about the 23rd, because there's no holes for a long time, so that's going to really screw up the 29's racecraft right there. New leader on the outside, though, Brad Mahar is going to have his chance to chase down Bose.
That's got to sting, because Brandon Williams was clear of that inside line for a moment. Going into quarter number 3, went high, it essentially got left as Mahar went down low on him, and Mahar now working with help from the 36 car of Justin Bolton up high. The 03 of Holiday thought about stepping out of line. He's working down low with the 38 of Logan Kress. Still Bose leading with help from Alec Karen, but outside lane getting hooked up, trying to pinch down, working a little bit of side draft on that bottom lane. Had the run by all means down that back straightaway through 3 and 4 now off the corner. Going to get that little bit of a run coming down the banking. They have the momentum, Petey. Going to be curious to see that if Brad Mahar is able to get clear, if he does leave that 36 of Justin Bolton, which we have seen several drivers do so far tonight, or if they'll stick with each other. 38 goes high to get some air to that machine. Top lane going to get separated, and that run going to be stalled out for just a moment.
And right now, the whole top 10 is just big names that we always talk about up front. Then you go to 3rd and 4th, and you got Holiday and Alex Karen. And it's really fun to see new guys run up front, and I'm sure they're thrilled right now as you see Holiday jump out to the outside, though. He's going to work with 36 of Bolton.
We're leaning on each other for the top spot.
They're leaning on each other. They're certainly not going to be easy on each other here. Holiday's not going to be able to hang with them tandeming up there, so this is going to really slow down the outside lane, and Bosey's going to hang out on the outside. It's a battle of the pros for the lead right now. Bosey on the inside, Mahar on the outside. Who's going to get the stripe? It will be Mahar by about a car length. So Mahar with the lead right now. He's going to come down.
And he left him.
He left Bolton, and I didn't expect that. I don't know about you, Evan, but I thought they were going to work together.
It felt like they may have worked together because they had been drafting earlier on, but I mean, no loyalty in that one. 113 goes high. What a move by Alan Bose. Fakes him out, goes high, pulls the crossover, and now Mahar's going to be able to get back in front of him. Thought the 21 may have been able to get a nose down there, and it would have been a great move, almost the Jonathan Goke-esque by the 21 of Alan Bose, who faked out the high side jump down low. Mahar was able to stay in front of the 21, but it looked like Alan Bose, PD, had got the nose and may have made that work. He sits right now second on the inside line. Leader at the stripe, Justin Bolton. A bobble from the 181 of Alec Karen, but the 36 and the 03 still work the outside. That's Bolton and Holiday. Don't expect that 36 of Bolton to stick out there with the 03 PD if Holiday pushes him in front of that bottom lane.
I wouldn't expect to see if he wouldn't wait on his pro teammate friend there, Mahar. I would not expect him to wait on Richard Holiday. Holiday has help coming, though, in case he has to leave Bolton behind. Bolton is going to have a little bit of an advantage here. 3 and 4. Holiday not immediately there. Had to get his nose clean. This being just the second start in the series, Holiday showing some muscle early here, trying to get up on that Bolton machine and push him to the advantage. Had some time to talk to him before the race. Holiday was very excited. He had always loved super speedways and wanted to run this league. He felt like he could stand with the big boys and just trying to prove something tonight. He's definitely out for the points and team points or whatnot. And right now he's up there racing in 4th, and certainly is 3 wide. Ian Plash and Kyle Brummett.
He got left. Jonathan Goke is slow. Wow.
That could have been bad if they didn't move quick.
Jonathan Goke slow up on the fence, and it was Ian Plash and Kyle Brummett moving up high. And Plash came screaming over the radio to get down, get down. And they were able to avoid Jonathan Goke, who, again with damage, was up high and trying to get out of everyone's way. Oh, the 181 Alan Karen, he's on the apron, sideways, hangs on, checks up the bottom lane because the 38 of Logan Kress is right behind him. but they're able to hang on. Now Plash and the 20 car going to go back high. That's Kyle Brummett. 3 wide, splitting the 04 machine and the 42 down low, trying to get back up through the field. But how about another save by the 181 of Alan Karen? Apron Speedy, very unforgiving at Daytona. At Talladega, there's a little bit of a, leniency there. There's a little bit of a less banked apron portion before you get down to a flat area. So if you get 2 tires on there, it has leniency. Here you're going right from that 30 degrees of banking down to that apron, and it gets those cars sideways. The 181 was able to hang on, as well as a great job at the 38 car for not running him over on that one.
Yeah, I'm sure if I'd be so nice about that one. I think the 181 just needs to try to control his car and keep it above the apron here, else there's going to be a big wreck. But he should be able to do that moving forward as we see the battle for the lead continue on with Bolton and Mahar, followed by Alan Bowes right there and Holiday on the outside. 3 wide again
with Plash.
3 wide, Plash and Brummett on the outside. They're going to try to get by Damon Gilbert, I believe that is Damon Gilbert. Here they come, and it's not going to quite work. They're going to run out of steam. Maybe here they get some steam back though, charging up the front stretch as Holiday has a great push on Justin Bolton. It's about the 3 pros and Holiday right now for the lead, and Bolton through to the lead. Will he wait? No, he doesn't have a hole, does he? It's going to be close, and it's not quite there. It was almost there, but it wasn't, Evan.
He had it for a split second, but it was the hesitation that allowed Brad Mahar to dive it back at quarter number 3 on the bottom lane, be able to get that spot back. Still 3 wide, 68 the 04, a little bit of a check-up, but a bit of lane, and it is still Ian Plash and 20 of Kyle Brummett up high. And the 20 car is letting him know that he's hot, can't get back to the bump. More 3 wide now behind them. The 09, the 2, the 42. That's the double filed up for a moment. Alec Karen still, PD, as you said, trying to keep that thing held down. Has been bouncing off the apron, sliding up a little bit. And now the middle lane has a little bit of a run. Nowhere to go, though, because of this huge pack. Everybody check it up. They've stalled out. The only way through is up against the fence. Flash wants to get going, though. He's yelling at the 20 to get on his back bumper. Brummett can't get to him, says he's overheating.
Yeah, and right now, that's going to suck because Flash is just going to fall back far. Brummett just kind of was like, I'm not even going to help you get down the line. Brummett just left him out to dry there. And they're falling back hard now. But right now, your leader is Justin Bolton in 36. Barely led that lap. Will he finally get clear? It's going to be close. No, he won't. But he could have a great run here. Holiday has a mad run on him. Will Holiday get there? But Bowes also has a good run on the bottom. This is going to be, I guess, the battle of the 3 pros and Holiday is going to continue up here as we have just been blessed with some great racing right now. Just watching the 32 of Dustin Lee, he's starting to really apply some pressure to Holiday. He wants to get that 36 clear so the chain of outside cars can continue on. But first they have to get that 36 of Bolton clear. Bolton, I'm sure, wants to get clear himself too. Holiday thinks about leading a 3 wide charge, thinks better, pulls back the line, can get right behind Bolton, and we'll see what they can do in this next corner, Evan.
We are 2 wide, bumper to bumper, from first all the way through to 20th position, actually 21st, as all of those guys separated by less than 1 second. 3 wide again. Flash sticks out the nose, wants help from the 20 of Kyle Brummett. They made a great run last time. 923 slides up off the corner. Alan Lewis gets into the side of the 68 car of Damon Gilbert, apologizes over the radio. Nothing going to come from that, and doesn't look like anybody going to get damage in that exchange. Now the inside line stalls out of nowhere. Brad Mahar with no help. 36 is clear. Bolton hesitates again, though, does not come down. He may be trying to stick with that 03 machine to Holiday, P, because that's now 2 times he's had a small window of opportunity, and he stuck it out on the high side.
You got to appreciate that. He probably didn't like what the 113 did to him, and most guys try to do it back, but Justin Bolton's doing a nice thing here. He's trying to help the rookie Holiday out and try to get him clear. Certainly committed to Holiday right now, and he had a very good chance to get the lead there, and he just decided to stick to the outside. So cool to see these guys having some mutual respect going on right now. But I think if I was Bolton right now, I just have to go to that bottom line if he gets another chance, which he does right here. Will he go? He should, but he's not going to. He really wants to bring that 03 of Holiday with him, Evan.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that he's sticking it out with the 03 machine of Richard Holiday. They continue to work the outside. Brad Mahar still leads down low. Hasn't had the 21 of Alan Bowes, who's tucked up behind him on the bottom. Really on his back bumper at all these last few laps. They're not really pushing, which means that when the 36 and the 03 get together, they're able to push quite well and are able to make up some significant time in that regard. But I mean, interesting to see that Bolton's hanging it out there with Holiday, especially that you consider the fact we're now within 20 laps to go. You can't really wait around for anybody else much longer, Petey. You kind of got to go. Here we go. We're going to get another look. The 03 pushes the 36 machine. He's clear of the bottom lane, and it looks like that Justin Bolton once again going to stay up high.
Yeah, but there's trouble with the inside line. They're all together. If Holiday gets there quick, they can make a move. I don't think he's going to get there quick enough, though. One thing else I'm thinking is this could be strategic on Justin Bolton's part. If he sticks on that outside lane, if he goes to the bottom, what's going to happen is Holiday's going to get clear and go to the bottom, the ever-ending chain will end. If he stays on that outside till maybe 2 or 3 to go and then goes low, he will be able to take the lead. But if he goes now, someone else on the outside will be able to take it from him. So I think he could be doing some really smart and well-thought strategy here if he's not just trying to be friendly to Holiday.
It is true, because you jump down to the bottom lane. The bottom is not the passing lane. If you're on the bottom, you're on the bottom. You can't go anywhere. If you're a guy like that 18 machine right there of Justin Knobloch, there's cars alongside next to you. You can't go anywhere. You got a guy in front of you, a guy behind you, a car next to you. You're stuck in line. The outside, you have the freedom to do what you want to do. We got a bobble, huge save. Oh no, the 04, the 2 car, bouncing off each other. Another save. That's Jeff Ramsdell and John Hathaway Jr. Now they go 3 wide. It's going to be the 68 of Damon Gilbert. Is that a line 32? Cuts him off on a nose. Still hanging on to it. More 3 wide. The 32's in the fence. Check it up now. That's Dustin Lee. And we're still green.
32, I believe, has a tire going down. He's just getting bad loose in the corners. I have to believe them some sort of issue there, if not a tire. And look at this run by
Holiday.
Holiday.
Go see him flash.
That's not going to work out
door
too well.
shots on him.
Look at this, though. Holiday and Bolton finally with a great run. Will they be able to clear him? They got to keep pushing if they want to get clear. They have a good chance as they ever will here, but it's just going to stall again, I think.
Oh, way down. Here
Green
we go.
flag
Final
pit
set of
stop.
pit stops. Alan Bowe's going to jump down. He brings in the 18 of Justin Knobloch in too hard. He's out in the grass. The 18 from a top 10 position blows the pit road entry, gets on the brakes too hard. Petey kicks that thing sideways. He's out in the grass. He's on pit road. That's going to be a penalty.
Yeah, and he missed his pit stall, too, to add insult to injury, and oh, goodness. Oh, he still missed it again.
When it rains, it pours. It's gone from bad to worse.
The Knobloch crew is certainly having big struggles now. It's just hard to watch that, but...
Oh, the 03 Holiday just got hooked into the wall. Huge wreck.
Holiday with a hard hit there, and cautions out on the racetrack. We have a whole new race, but oh my goodness, what a hard hit on Richard Holiday.
What the 04 and the 03 were getting the job done. Richard Holiday on track for a great finish, and the 04 just tapped him in huge contact into the outside wall. Goes Richard Holiday, bounces down into the 30, into the 41 cars. The 03 has lost the engine. He's taken a tow back to pit road. His night could be done, Petey, and we had guys who had just pitted. Going to be interesting to see where everybody cycles out. We got guys still out on track that need to come back down.
You know, Evan, one thing I noticed in that whole wreck was that Carolina Hurricane logo looked pretty dang cool when it was spinning. I know it probably didn't look too cool from Richard Holiday's advantage, but it just kind of looked like a little tornado going around there. But he certainly got tossed around like a rag doll there. No joking matter. I hope he's safe. Crew's trying to respond to him, not getting a response, of course. And them type of wrecks, radios can always go out and such, so I'm sure that's just the case there. These cars are built so safely, and so the track barriers, that definitely he should be okay. Hope to see him get out of that car soon, but we still have a race to go, and we're hearing reports that it might have been a lag hit or whatnot. One thing to note is the guys that just pitted are actually going to be the leaders, because what's going to happen is the leaders are going to have to pit, and the guys who just pitted are going to get turned around to the lead. I'm trying to figure out who the first car that pitted was, and I can't quite place my
Bose was
finger
the
on
first one down. However, how that exchange went, we're not sure. I believe Bose, Kress, and company, who are about 15th on back, started that.
Knobloch? What? There's no way. Oh, he's a lap down. Okay, so the new leader is actually going to be... scoring will not be accurate here. It is
Alan Bose. He is the first one that brought him down. So
all right, and
Bose and Kress, they started alongside each other, Petey, at the start, and they are a dangerous duo, both in the points after Seth the Merchant having trouble here tonight, as well as the fact that they're going to be in contention for this win. They will be in those front spots. Coming up for about a 10 lap to go restart. We're going to step away for the final time during racing conditions tonight, and we'll bring you back. We're just about 10 laps to get to decide who walks away with the checkered flag of the X-Lander Designs 175 at Daytona. More of VIDANE racing coming up on the other side on LSRTV. Back live tonight on LSRTV for the VIDANE Racing Series Season 7, powered by iRacing.com and the VIDANE Racing Rent-A-Race Car Super Speedway Series, Race 7 to 12, the X-Lander Designs 175 from the Daytona International Speedway, currently working in on the closing laps as Episoko PDJ Seller up in the broadcast booth here tonight after what has been a expectedly unexpected race, I guess we have to call it, the way the last few weeks have gone. Huge carnage at the start of this, a lot of confusion, a lot of big names taken out, and it is Bose and Cress who are teammates and are looking to really pull away from Flash Racing Incorporated into team standings to win the Rent-A-Race Car New England with the Dare Stock Division at Stafford Speedway prize for the 2-car team points at the end of the year, PD. This could be a huge night for the 21 and the 38.
Yeah, and I want to give a shout out to all the sponsors. They got some great sponsors. The leader of Alan Bose actually picked up DuPont this week. Press picked up AMP, and Ramsdell picked up his own little company there. Food Line, Brandon Williams, and probably my favorite in the field, the 923 picked up the plain white tees, actually sponsored him. So very fun scenario we have with these cars. Gotta love sponsorship. What's your favorite sponsor so far tonight, Evan?
I love the AMP Energy. I said that earlier. Actually, their marketing is working quite well because it is tempting me to want to go and get an AMP Energy later because I like AMP better than Monster and Red Bull and all that kind of stuff. But there you go. There's your proof that the iRacing marketing works because it is enticing me to go get some. So we are coming up. It's going to be restart with 10 laps to go. I'm going to make our last second predictions in this. What I say that tonight's winner, it's going to be the driver of the number 21 machine. I think when you have Cress and Bose out there, that it's going to be just too hard for anybody to work around. And Petey, what's your call going to be?
Man, I hate you because Bose is going to be my pick, but you know what? He's wrecked in, I think it's 32 out of his 33 career VIDANE starts, and I think he said 30 of them were in the last 2 laps. I think tonight Jeff Ramsdell has Lady Luck on his side, and he brings it home in victory lane.
So either we've predicted our winner or we cursed him. We're going to find out. Pace car down and away, green flag back in air, and we're underway. Advantage to the outside lane with a little bit of a run. Still at the start-finish line. Nose to Alan Bose. Did not intend to rhyme that. But the 38 machine of Logan Cress has a little bit of momentum up at a high side with help from the 29 car of Brandon Williams.
Brandon Williams giving him a ton of help up there. And this is going to be close. Ramsdell knows how to get it done, just can never close it out. Is going to push Bose to the lead, and Bose has the advantage over Logan Cress. Cress going to try to battle back hard on the outside. Williams
good check
pushing.
up on the bottom lane.
And here comes the man that always comes out of nowhere and gets it done. Mr. Ian Flash, as I like to call him, the Kevin Harvick.
Oh, contact, Brad Mahar. He just moved the 20. He put Kyle Drummond in the fence.
Hard into the wall, but here comes Flash, the Kevin Harvick of this league. And he's going to try to push the 29 around these guys, and this should be interesting to watch. Flash is the man that knows when it's time to go, and he usually gets it done, Evan.
It was Mahar who went high with Justin Bolton. The 20 was there, and the 113 said, no thank you, and just moved them out of the way, put the 20 machine in the fence. Kyle Brummett understandably not happy with the way that went down, but the 113 is doing what he needs to do if he wants to be able to win this race. Curious to see if Bose and Cress are going to try to get stacked up nose to nose with each other. Flash going to go 3 wide, but doesn't appear to have any help right now. We know that he can get the run. We saw the 924 work the outside with the 20 car earlier in the race, PD, but nobody's biting and nobody's going to go with him.
How's he hanging? He should be getting freight trained by this point.
Oh, contact 29.
He's side drafting. Oh, in the wall. 924 Flash hard in the wall. It's going to ruin his run and possibly his race. I never count him out, but that might have done it for him right there. As we have a new battle for the lead. Bose and Logan Cress. They're going to be battling hard here. Can they get by? Who can Cress get by his teammate? Right now, though, they probably should race car 2 hours because this would be amazing for team points. This would be the perfect cap to say we're going to win this championship and you can't stop us. But they have tough contenders. Alan Bose, their other teammate Alan Lewis. I mean, not Alan Bose, Jeff Ramsdell, and Brandon E. Williams. And Brandon E. Williams is another team car 3 wide. Mahar and Justin Bolton. And this time 3 wide as help. But there's 4 team cars in the top 5. This is going to be hard for anyone to beat them, Evan.
3 wide behind them, the 04, the 42, 68 car going to catch the fence. That's Damon Gilbert. He'll lose some speed. Flash now, trying to come back up to the middle. Nearly gets into the 68.
181
into the fence. Now 20 car. Going to get split around. The 181 is around. That's Alec Karen. Huge wreck. Kyle Brummett into the 30 machine involved as well. Caution flag will fly and set us up for a late race restart after this all started with the 181 of Alec Karen went high, and then just tried to come back down. Don't see anything wrong there on the half of the 18 of Justin Knobloch, PD. At 181 went high, came back down on him. The 46, the 36, huge impact for the 20 car. And that's going to set us up for about 3 laps or so coming up on one final restart. Bose and Crest still going to be at the top spots.
Well, I think Joe Branch just put it best. NASCAR time, because we're probably ready to see about... I think it's going to be hard for them to go green if they get 2 laps. If they're going to get a 2 or a 1 lap shootout here, I think it's going to be a 1, but there's a good chance it could be a 2. They're going to catch the pace car with 6 to go, so it's possible it's a 1 lap, but we don't know. Either way, expect to see the biggest wreck you've ever seen in your life and one of the better finishes you'll ever experience. Remember, if it's a 1 lap shoot, these cars won't get up to speed until they're exiting turn 4 almost, so the draft will almost be irrelevant for a little while. The restart's going to be very important, and I think you put it best, it's NASCAR time.
And it's going to get real exciting for the people up at the tower, being us, and for some of those guys that are down there on track, it may not be as exciting as they would like, because you could have a race, PD, that if it ended 5 laps earlier, you get a great points night, and if it ends at the actual scheduled race distance, you could end up 25th, a couple laps down with your car upside down in the catch fence, which would not be the first time that we have seen a wild finish like that happen. I remember Ice Super Speedway 1 week ago, the final lap at B-Main was absolute mayhem, because once that white flag is out, there's no cautions. It doesn't matter how many cars wreck, it doesn't matter how many people blow their engine, PD. First person to the checkered flag on that white flag lap, regardless of what happens, will take it all home tonight.
Yeah, that was certainly a thriller to watch, as is this one. Now, the team points, Bose and Crest, they got to feel pretty safe. 3rd, Brandon E. Williams, team car. 5th, Alan Lewis, team car. So that 4 of the top 5 right now are going to be helping each other. Jeff Ramsdell is kind of the odd man out, although if I had to pick an odd man out, I would probably either pick Ian Flash or Jeff Ramsdell. Ramsdell certainly can get it done. Always has bad luck late in these races, but I'm sure he's willing to turn that around tonight, and should be fun to watch him attempt to do it. Other cars that could be relevant and win the race right now include Justin Bolton, Brad Mahar, Dustin Lee, John Hathaway, and Elliott Leach in your top 10. Any of them realistically could win this in a 2-to-1 lap shootout, depending on if the wrecks go their way or not. Should be interesting to see. Just 20 cars in the lead lap, Alex Karen being the last car. I believe Richard Holliday actually just got his lap back, so it'll bring us up to 21. So
he said over there he got the lucky Doge. Yes.
Richard
Hey,
Holliday,
Jeff Ramsdell nearly just hit the wall under caution in 1 and 2. Got awfully close to the fence. He's trying to maybe, get a little bit more damage on that. Maybe straighten out some of the bent sheet metal. Get some aero help in theory. I don't know. But it was 5 to go the last time by. Again, a lot of these guys going to be trying to limp home as well from, 10th on back. If something were to happen up front, again, nothing is impossible, which we've come to learn and essentially come to expect in these super speedway races, is the fact that these can end rather, dully, I want to say. If it's a case of 21 to 38, they may just push each other through the start-finish line and, avoid any sort of, repercussions on if you hook each other around and you lose points. You've also seen times, Speedy, 3 wide, 4 wide at times. Daytona doesn't have a lot of room. We've seen people try to use the apron at points too. You're not allowed to pass below there, but nothing is out of the box in theory when you're racing for a checkered flag. It hasn't worked out for them, but they're going to have a lot of room to work with coming down here. Still 2 to go on the line, so if they do go off the next time by, it will be a 2-lap shootout.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was expecting here, but these guys, it's not elite. For some reason, the sim does not recognize passing below yellow as a black flag. I don't know what the league rule is. I know the other league we do, they will not give you the win. This league, I'm not sure what the rule is on that, so I guess we'll find out if someone tries to do it. Hopefully no one does, because that either ends in death or move of the year. So, and more often than not, I think it's death.
Yeah, we're going to find out very soon here to see how this one is going to shake out, because there is a lot that is still undecided, and it's going to be an exciting one, to say the least, when this is all said and done, because we got still 20-plus cars that are on the lead lap. We got a lot of hungry drivers that want to be able to take home the win tonight, and you got a lot of championship points implications as well that their fate hang in the balance of how these final, 2-1 laps will go at the end of this race. We'll let you know where they all run. We'll let you know the lead lap cars 1st through 20th. You have Alan Bowes, Logan Kress, Brandon Williams, Jeff Ramsdell, and Alan Lewis. Inside of the top 5, Justin Bolton, Brad Mahar, Dustin Lee, John Hathaway Jr., and Elliott Leach. They're 6th through 10th positions. Justin Knobloch, Steve Vinson, Damon Gilbert, EJ O'Rourke, and Robbie Roy are 11th through 15th. And rounding out our lead lap car, 16th through 20th, Tyler Wood, Ian Plash, Richard Holiday, Bryce Senesac, and Sean Preitzman.
Yeah, I wouldn't count any of them out right now. I mean, look at Plash back there in 17th. I've seen.
How many was it at Talladega? How many cars did Plash pass in the latter stages at Talladega?
13 and 5 laps. We called it the Earnhardt.
Well, he's going to have 2 to get the job done this time if he wants to. The lights are off on the pace car. And it's going to be, as I predicted, a 2-lap shootout. Green-white checker, not a real green-white checker, because there's no overtime. There's no attempt 1 at it. It's going to be a green, a white, and a checker. You get 2 laps. If a caution flies before the white is out, this race will end under caution flag conditions. Pretty much call it 50-50, PD, if we make it to that white flag, because in theory they're not going to be up to speed enough to wreck each other, but if you're not up to speed, it's when things can get very interesting as well. So I'm going with the 21 car on this one still. He's going to be restarting in the number 1 spot, and it's going to be about 5 miles to determine who's going to be able to take home the win tonight.
Yeah, sticking with 21 Bosey Bose, as much as I want to pick him, I'm actually going to change my...
Oh, you can't, no. You can't just change your
No,
pick.
Evan, I think you'll approve of this.
All right, what is your requested change? You got to submit an application. We'll send it to the review board.
All right. The review board probably going to be our race director here. So my pick is Ian Plash does the Earnhardt passes 16 cars in 2 laps and does donuts in victory lane as he drinks the sweet champagne from passing 16 cars.
All right, so PD has changed to go from a car that is in 2nd to a car that is in 17th.
I picked Ramsdell. What are you talking about?
We'll go with it. Or rather, Jeff Ramsdell. Okay, so you've dropped about 13 positions on track. So will we see Ian Plash make history at Daytona? Will we see Alan Bowes and Logan Kress dominate the points at it tonight? We'll find out. Pace car is down. Green flag in the air, and 2 laps to go to determine who takes home the win today at Daytona.
Bowes
the X-Lander Designs 175 hangs in the balance. 3 wide behind them. A lot of contact now as these guys at the tail end of the lead lap. The 96 gets shuffled out of line. That's Steve Vinson. Ian Plash flying through the middle.
They can't wreck yet, and they're wanting to, though. Speaking of, Plash is already passing cars like a maniac. Oh my goodness. The battle for the lead is on, though. The 21 of Bosey.
Oh, contact! The 923 is going to get shot in line. 3 wide, hanging on to it is Alan Lewis.
But up front, Logan Kress to the lead. He took it from Bowes, but it's not quite clear.
He can't get clear.
Can't get clear. He almost wrecked Bowes there. That was almost detrimental for that team. Coming to the white flag. The flagman has the white flag in his hand, and he's going to give it to Logan Kress. Will have the advantage of the stripe, I believe, with the run he has. Help from Jeff Ramsdell. Who gets back first?
Contact the 32 sideways.
No more cautions, Evan.
We get the white. No more cautions. To the outside goes the 04 of John Hathaway Jr. Plash too far behind. Damon Gilbert too far behind. It's going to be determined with these 6 cars up front. The 04, the 36 side by side. And now it's help with Alan Bowes. Pushing him through is Brandon Williams. Jeff Ramsdell has fallen off of the back bumper to the 38 of Logan Kress. And that machine is going backwards. Huge run by Brad Mahar with help from the 04. They got nowhere to go. And it is going to be the 21. A bomb. 38's up at the outside wall. Logan Kress. 2 cars. Jeff Ramsdell's around. He's wrecking. No caution. Now we're wrecking the 29. The 04 going to get turned. That's for 3rd. Up front, Brad Mahar to the bottom. Shuts the door. And Alan Bowes will get the checker flag.
Bowes, baby.
What a final lap.
Oh, everyone wrecked there, and somehow Elliott Leach came from 10th on the white flag lap to finish 4th. That was the big mover I saw. And hey, I said it over whisper to you. I said, I bet you Ian Plash gets better finish than Jeff Ramsdell, and look what happens. The wrecking streak continues for Jeff Ramsdell.
Well, that happened. We had Jeff Ramsdell signaturely get wrecked in the closing laps of the race. We wrecked for 3rd place, and it was Mahar who went to the bottom. Alan Bowes shut the door on him and was able to take home the checkered flag in tonight's race. And What an exciting finish, as we've come to expect. Alan Bose going to start his burnouts a little early there and meets the catch fence at Ian Plash as he will burn it down. He is tonight's winner. The Xlander Designs 175 is now in the books after a wild 2-lap shootout given to Alan Bose, who started in 16th position. He'll take home the checkers tonight. Post-race show coming up. Going to talk to our top 3 finishers and send you off for the holiday season, because we're not back until January, PD, for the next race, which is going to be coming up at Talladega, the Nick Del Campo Designs 150 on January the 9th of 2015. So don't go to our post-race show coming up from Daytona. Back live at the Daytona International Speedway, where the Xlander Designs 175 has come to a close after what was a peculiar start and a wild finish. Coming down to it by 1/10 of a second, it was Alan Bose who was able to get the checkered flag over Brad Mahar, and we're going to take this opportunity now to talk to some of our drivers, starting with the driver who comes home at a 5th place result. When the night is all said and done, driver of the number 32 machine, that's going to be Dustin Lee. Dustin, you started on the front row of this and had to fight through. It was a wild race. You came home with a little bit of a beaten and battered number 32 Chevrolet, but it's going to be a top 5 for you. How did this race go from the very interesting and strange start all the way down to that wild finish?
I think he pretty much described it there. It's pretty insane, the whole race. I mean, it was like tooth and nail. But ended up coming out with a 5th. I'm pretty satisfied with that after the way the race ran and everything else.
It was an exciting one, to say the least. Walk us through that final restart and what you were really expecting to come from that. You started a lot further back than where you finished.
Yeah, basically, I knew it was pretty much just going to be like a parking lot there. Just tried to stay in line and just, see if the hole opened up, I was definitely going to try for it. But, they ended up getting together and I ended up getting, doored there. And, it was just pretty much survival there at the very end.
Got through and you were able to get a top 5, Dustin. We got a couple of weeks off here for the holiday season before we go back racing once again in January. Before we let you get back to the team sponsors and shout outs to everybody who makes this kind of a run possible for you and that 32 team.
It's Olive Hill Welding. It's pretty much my main sponsor here. And thanks you guys for putting this on. And love coming here each and every week and racing.
Well, congrats on the top 5, Dustin, and we hope to see more success for this 32 car rolling forward. Good luck in the rest of the year.
10-4, thank you.
So that is our 5th place finisher tonight, and now caught up on pit road with our 4th place finisher, PDJ Zellers, down with the driver of that 42 car.
Yeah, I've caught up with Elliott Leach. He finished 4th, a wild turn of events in that last lap. Take us through what happened there in that final closing lap, Elliott.
Man, they were wrecking twice. I think I was stuck back in like ninth or 10th, and I saw a car fly up to the wall going into turn 3, and I told my teammates, I was like, "Oh, here we go. This is the last one." And then they kept it together, and I was like, "Oh, okay, maybe not. Maybe I'll just squeeze out a top 10." And then that second wreck happened, and those two cars came across my nose, and I was like, "Great, another top 5." I had a great, finish lined up, and here I'm going to get screwed. And I rammed him, almost full throttle, and just gave me, a healthy amount of nose damage, but I still had the car pointed straight, and managed to bring it across the line 4th, luckily for me.
All right, Elliot. You're on the double tonight. What's your plans for the next one?
Oh, man. Next race is going to be a race of attrition. We expect it to be like at least an hour and a half to 2 hours long. So just, survive, be extremely, extremely conservative, and let all of the most aggressive people take themselves out as early as possible.
All right, Elliot, before I let you go, catch up with your crew and get ready for the next one. Who do you got to thank? Who makes it happen for you in the number 42 crew?
Gotta thank AS Roma, best Serie A club in the nation, and also my teammates over at Big Block Motorsports, Robbie Roy and Richard Holiday. They both had a good run, got caught up in a few unfortunate wrecks there, but managed to pull out some pretty good finishes for both of them.
That's your 4th place finisher tonight, Elliot Leach. Meanwhile, on victory lane, Evan Pasoko is caught up with our race winner, Alan Bowes, where the champagne is flying.
Yeah, he had to throw one last block at the end to be able to get it over the driver of the 113, but it is a checkered flag for Alan Bowes, who I predicted would be the winner at 10 to go, so take some brownie points on that one. But Alan, you're able to get the checkered flag tonight. A decent points night for you guys. I know you and Logan were up in the front row. He comes home with an 8th place, but how were we able to hold everybody off on that final lap?
It was mostly just teamwork between the 4 guys at the front, and then, I think it was Brandon Williams who didn't get a good finish, but yeah, it was just teamwork, and Cress and I were able to stay side by side there, able to stay up front, and unfortunately Cress and I couldn't race it to the finish, but overall it was still a good race at the end, and just a great finish, and yeah.
One of the primary things that everybody's looking at in this series is that team points, and with Seth having some more issues tonight, that Plash Incorporated team going the wrong direction, another solid points night for you guys. What does that mean rolling forward in this championship hunt, being able to almost open up a little bit of a gap?
This is definitely going to help Cress and I able to play it safe for the rest of the season, because with both of them having a bad finish, and Cress and I both getting top 10s again, it solidifies ourselves as probably closer to a two race lead.
We're able to get that job done, and you have a little bit of a break from the VIDANE Racing Series until we get rolling once again. Next race is going to be coming up in January, so a few weeks off for the holidays, but we'll be back January 9th at Talladega. Until then, again, sponsors and shout-outs to everybody who makes this run possible for you and the team week in and week out.
Ian puts on a very good league. It's very fun to race in. Cress is a very good teammate, and everybody else that worked with me tonight, Brandon Williams and Jeff Ramsdale, Jonathan Goke, Alan Lewis, Houston Hammer, all those guys that did a fantastic job tonight. And yeah, that you guys put on a great broadcast.
We appreciate the kind words, Alan, and again, congratulations for you and the team, but as well yourself on the checkered flag here tonight. Good luck rolling forward as you guys attempt to, lock up that championship here for Season 4.
Thank you.
So that is tonight's winner, Alan Bowes. And again, PD, him and his teammate Logan Crest trying to take home the VIDANE Racing Series Season 7 Championship. Another strong run tonight. We got to get going because we got to head out to Talladega in about 10 minutes before we step away. Final thoughts on tonight's race?
Well, our pilot better be pretty quick. That's all I have to say, Evan. But great race, always fun to watch. And let's hurry up and get to Talladega before the plane leaves.
That's right, we got part 2 coming up of the LSRTV Friday Night Super Speedway doubleheader. The VIDANE Racing Series is in the books, and it is Alan Bowes who takes home the X-Lander Designs 175. I want to thank everybody here at VIDANE Racing, President and owner Paul Strickland Jr., Vice President Garland Meadows, Director of Operations Ian Plash, and race officials Jeff Ramsdell and Jonathan Goke. Want to thank Excellenter Designs again for title sponsoring tonight's race, and everybody in the LSRTV broadcast crew. As always, PDJ Zeller for joining me up at the broadcast booth, Laura Lawson pushing the buttons and getting us on air. My name is Evan Pasoko. We'll see you next time with VIDANE on January the 9th from Talladega, but until then, we got more Super Speedway racing coming right up.